I stood at the entrance of the Portland Maternity Center, holding my newborn daughter against my chest, feeling the weight of the rain as much as the weight of my own life collapsing. My arms trembled, not from exhaustion after hours of labor, but from fear of what would happen now that Jason was gone. I had called him 3 times that morning, begging him to come, telling him it was finally time for us to go home. But each call went to voicemail. Each unanswered ring hollowed me out until my voice cracked into silence. Lila, just 3 days old, shifted slightly under the thin hospital blanket. Her tiny lips opened, searching for warmth, unaware of the chaos unraveling around us. I kissed her forehead, whispering, "It's okay, baby, we're going to be okay." But my voice sounded foreign, as if I were talking to someone else's child, someone else's life. I had nowhere to go. Our apartment lease ended this month, and Jason, my husband, the man who promised to stand by me, had disappeared without a trace. The rain soaked my shoes, cold seeping through every layer, while people rushed past, busy with their own lives. I wanted to disappear among them, just another face under the gray Oregon sky. Instead, I stayed rooted on the steps, paralyzed. My whole body was screaming to move, but my heart was broken beyond motion. "Excuse me," the voice was deep, warm, unexpected. I looked up to see a man, older, maybe in his early 50s, wearing a charcoal suit despite the rain. His silver hair was damp, but his posture was strong, steady, like he belonged anywhere he stood. He held an umbrella and looked at me with genuine concern. "Are you all right? Do you need help?" For a moment, pride made me want to say no, to claim I could handle this alone. But then Lila whimpered, tiny fists clenching, and I felt my knees weaken. I whispered, "My ride, it never came." The man glanced around, then back at me. "Let me call one for you, or better yet, let me drive you. I promise I'm safe." He hesitated, as though aware of how this might sound to a woman clutching her baby. "Name's Daniel Whitaker. I'm local." He reached into his pocket and handed me a business card. Thick paper, elegant font, the kind successful people carried. I stared at it, still clutching Lila. My instincts screamed to keep distance, but something in his voice, something steady and calm, cut through the noise in my head. The rain picked up, drumming harder against the steps. I nodded slowly. "Okay, thank you." That was the moment everything began to change. I thought I had lost everything that morning. But in reality, I was about to find something I didn't even know I was missing. Jason wasn't always like this, not in the beginning. I met him 3 years ago when I was working as a cashier at a small electronics store in downtown Portland. He had walked in on a rainy Thursday, just like the one outside the maternity ward, shaking droplets from his hair and flashing that easy smile that made people trust him instantly. He had asked about headphones, but he stayed to ask about me, where I grew up, what music I liked, what I dreamed about. It felt safe. For someone like me, raised by a single grandmother after my mom passed too soon, safety was a luxury. Jason offered it without me even having to ask. We started dating quickly. Jason was funny, ambitious, and always talking about the life we would build one day. A little house with a garden, maybe a dog, and Sunday mornings making pancakes together. 6 months in, he proposed. He didn't have a ring ready, just this ridiculous twist tie he pulled from a loaf of bread in our kitchen. But I cried and said yes anyway. Love didn't need a ring to feel real. The first year was blissful. We had an apartment that smelled of fresh coffee every morning, and Jason would leave me notes on the fridge. "Good luck at work. Dinner's on me tonight. Love you." When I found out I was pregnant, he spun me around the living room and laughed until we both collapsed on the couch, dizzy and happy. "We're going to be parents," he whispered against my hair. "I promise I'll take care of everything." For a while, he kept that promise. He came to every appointment, held my hand through every wave of nausea, and built a crib from scratch, even though he barely knew how to use a drill. But around the 5th month, things started changing slowly, almost unnoticeably at first. He started working late, missing dinners, forgetting the little things he used to remember, like buying milk or calling when he'd be late. He snapped more easily, blaming stress, talking about some big deal at work that would solve everything. I believed him, wanted to believe him, because I was already terrified about becoming a mom. Then I found the receipt. It was tucked in his jacket pocket, one I'd grabbed from the chair to put in the closet. A fancy restaurant, one we'd never been to together, 2 expensive cocktails and 2 desserts. There was also a single blonde hair caught in the collar of his coat. My hair is dark brown, almost black. I stared at it for a long time, convincing myself it was nothing. Maybe a coworker, maybe a client. Jason he couldn't. When I asked, he looked annoyed instead of guilty. Are we really doing this, Em? You're pregnant and hormonal. And now I can't even take a client to dinner. He kissed my forehead like he was soothing a child. I love you. Stop worrying. I tried. I really did. I'd